He's in prison for putting Superman in the ICU with a Criptoknight bullet.
Early morning mob, Capo. This show is amazing. I've checked it out a couple of times, and I would recommend all our friends and fans do give them a listen. They do such great work, and I'm really proud and again grateful to be able to be a part of the show.
All right, and again, I'm Carl. I go by Criptoknight. So tell everybody your name and what you go by.
I'm Kyle Mercado.
Okay.
I just go by Kyle Mercado. It's kind of it's just like a,
Is it government name or?
Yeah, government name. I mean, it was like one of those things where I originally was like, man, Scrubby sounds fun, right? I was like, Scrubby sounds like a cool name. But I was like,
I am starting to like government names. I mean, there's something to making up your own little name, but also being you is cool, and that's also a brand in itself.
Yeah, no, being yourself. There's a lot of great artists who didn't decide on a name and kind of went with one. Like Ed Sheeran. Like that's a name that that's his birth name, government name, whatever it is.
Yes. So what kind of music do you make?
I'm I want to say pop punk alternative rock is kind of my main genre of expertise.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a producer, so I produce all the music myself, and I put it out on Spotify and Apple and everything through like DistroKid.
I love that, because that's unique. So we're putting together a mixtape, me and Frank, and we're also finding it hard to find people like I'm also a producer. I'm trying to send in the beats and kind of get them back as full songs, and you'd be surprised that some people can't record themselves. So
what's your DAW of choice?
I did like to use Pro Tools, but now I use Studio One.
Yeah, no, I get it. I went for Ableton just because I just love the flow, like the workflow of it. It just feels right to me. But I understand why Studio One though is a good option.
Yeah, well, I'm old school and my computer crashed, so that was the one that had the Pro Tools.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And that's a little bit more pricey. So for now, what I do with mostly beats, I think that the Studio One's good for that. If we're doing more vocals, I told Frank we would have to purchase Pro Tools. So you're a gearhead. I like that. Now we can get into different questions that I've asked there. What is your DAW of choice?
I'm an Ableton guy. Always been, always has been, always will be. I tried Reaper for like a couple days, and I was like, man, I really like the low latency, but Ableton, it just, I don't know, the layout just feels comfortable to me now.
How many compressors do you like to use?
Oh fuck! I've got the Arturia set, so I use the FET 76. I don't know the names like exactly, but I usually use the 3 in that system for all my compressions. So for vocals, I use the FET 76. For drums, I use the VAC. I think it's called FAC or VAC. And then I use the tube for guitars and like instruments.
I was always told at least 2 compressors.
Always. Always on the vocals, at least.
And
for me.
Yeah. So what's your musical influences?
I want to say I started off as a pop punk kid, All Time Low, Mayday Parade. That's more emo rock, but those are like my 2 big influences that started me getting interested in music in general.
Yep.
But then I started hearing like things like AJR and Kanye West, and I was like, wow, the production value on their songs is incredible. And
I've said this a couple of times. Kanye West, if you take away all of his
craziness,
no
worries.
He's brilliant.
Oh, he's incredible
production-wise.
Exactly. No. The things like there's some great songs by him that I'm just like, holy shit, how did you do that?
What age did you start making music?
Like producing or making music in general?
Making music, I would say, because production probably comes a little bit later.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things where, I mean, I started kind of doing music when I was around, I want to say like 12 to 13. I started playing guitar. I've always been singing since I was like 5, but your voice kind of changes.
Oh, definitely.
So a lot of the training that I learned and a lot of the things that I've like learned as a musician, as a vocalist, has kind of changed on me as I've gotten older. And so it's I guess I would say, I want to say like 16 to 18 is where I started writing my own songs and saying, yeah, I want to just start like making music as a person, like as like my own stuff that I want to show to people.
What's your creative process?
Be depressed and then figure it out later, like a lot of the songs that I've made, I want to say that I was in like a very like, either I was in a really happy mood or really sad mood. It depends on like what mood I'm in exactly, and then focus on it and capitalize on it at that moment. And sometimes I can't get to my DAW, so some tracks are lost in time or whatever, but always trying to find things that make me feel like it's like unique and it's to me. It's my music.
Yeah, and I like that. To me, music is all about energy, and it's about translation into like sad, happy. And I just don't like all the time. Sometimes you get like a really happy person, then they try to make a sad song, or vice versa. Like I think we do have these little pockets and niches, and that's cool. Like So I like to make. Capo likes to make a lot more happier and joyous things. There's also a meeting in the middle as well, but I like to make more deeper and like what's wrong with the world track. So I feel the sad emo stuff.
No, I get it. I understand that.
Do you have any pre-show rituals to get on stage?
Shot of Fireball.
Yeah, no,
every time.
Liquid Courage.
Every time. Shot of Fireball.
Some's Liquid Courage, Herbal Courage, and then some people say, there's a limit to it though, because then if you go overboard, maybe.
Yeah. You always do. So it's one shot, and then I get a beer afterwards to wash it down. Usually. Okay. So this is my pregame beer. Okay. I'm going on in like 4 minutes or so. So it's like one of those things that I always do.
Nerves can be kind of good though, I think, in a way too. Like,
they push you. They push you to do like the best.
So how many albums do you have, or like works of art?
Currently, I have about, I want to say, one EP, so one 7-song record, which I've produced, like written and produced myself.
That's very hard work.
Yeah, no, it's on Spotify.
That's like the equivalent of 24, you know?
Yeah, no, it's something that's really important to me. I mean, of course, I don't see it as like the greatest thing ever because there's always more to improve on, and of course, there's always more to show to people. But there's the EP that came out. Then I have about 6 singles that are out, and 3 of them I just released this year. So one I released in January, then February. Holy, the drinks are starting to get to me. So January, February, and then March. And I released 3 separate tracks. One was more of a happy pop punk kind of thing. Second one was more of a Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, alternative rock kind of thing. And then the third one was more in line with Royal Blood and Muse, which is kind of like a lot of those things come from a lot of my inspirations as an artist.
Okay. So do you work with just like loops and keyboards and stuff? Do you play your own instruments?
A lot of it is all, I want to say it starts, a lot of it comes to start from amp sims. So I use a lot of amp sim cabs. So like the, have you ever heard of Neural DSP?
Yes. Yep.
So I use Neural DSP for a lot of my guitar tracks.
Okay.
And then from there, the guitar tracks usually lead to the drums and lead to the vocals and then lead to the layering synths that I put up for my tracks. And then by the end of it, it's kind of, it sounds like a full track to me. And I'm like, all right, this is good. I still have a lot to learn when it comes to saturation, compression, EQ. There's always more to learn. And of course, as like a person who's only been producing for about, like, I want to say I started producing during the pandemic, so 3 years.
That's cool.
I want to say that it's a lot of work, but you tend to make progress like one song at a time.
Oh yeah. I've been doing this since I was 14. I got into it. I'm going to be 42 in September, so it's a lifelong love and journey.
You must be really good at it, right?
I like to think that I'm
kind of busting,
decent enough to be able to charge and to be able to send my stuff out and to work with people. Yes.
No,
it's
awesome.
a long journey.
It's hard.
Yeah.
No, I get it. And feeling like your music is like good enough.
Yeah.
To send it out to people.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's a lot.
Yeah, and then things change too. So I learned on actual tape to tape.
Yeah.
Erasing it with a magnet and all that.
So like back then before.
Because I actually went to school for broadcasting. So like how you'd make your studio tape.
So a lot
like
of physical equipment, right?
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. And now everything's digital. So
I respect the shit out of it.
You'd only be able to do less than 24 tracks. Now you can do 1 billion tracks.
No, it's great.
So how would you like your music to be remembered?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I want people to kind of know who I am. That's kind of the baseline of it. I mean, it's like I want to know like a lot of people. Like I want people to know, like a lot of people to know what I've done here, and I want people to see it. And that's kind of the thing that any musician wants. Any musician who's made art wants their art to kind of be seen by people and enjoyed by people. I mean, if it's enjoyed by people, then it's a success, right?
Yes,
I mean,
touching people, yep.
Yeah, no, and so that comes down to, there's so many factors that play into like becoming a successful musician in a way. There's all the marketing. Like marketing is probably
that's
my
the
weakest
part.
trait. Exactly. I don't want to say, go check out Kyle Mercado on Spotify and Apple, and I don't want to run up to people, giant QR code sign just saying, hey man, check this out. Like,
it's the next question though.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So how do we find you and have plug yourself? I mean, sometimes it's important.
Sometimes it's very important, and that's where music leads. Like music, and at the end of the day, you know, like if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? And the truth is, it does make a sound, but no one else hears it, and that's the baseline of like how like small creators feel.
You can only put it out there, and hopefully people will find it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
When the cookie falls, and all the ants seem to find it.
And then, but you have to kind of make your own in a way. You got to play out places. You got to show.
So you're on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm on Spotify and Apple under Kyle Mercado.
Yeah. Brilliant. The name is brilliant. It's simple. Sometimes, so I guess like I've got rid of a lot of equipment and toned it down to simplicity.
Yeah, and the less you use, the more focused your sound feels.
So I ended with like 2 or 3 little crazier questions. Do you believe in aliens?
I mean, it's hard to believe that there's nothing out there. You know, like there's got to be something. I'm not Tom DeLonge, but like, man, there's got to be something.
Yeah.
You know.
1 meal for the rest of your life.
Oh, fuck. Shrimp fried rice from Soccer Garden down the street.
Oh.
It's my favorite.
Do you sing in the shower, and if so, is it considered practice?
No, I don't. I sing in the car though.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's another one I might have to add.
Shower singing feels weird to me because my family's around. Whereas the car, I'm by myself, so it's a lot easier to like kind of just go all out. Like, you know, you still feel embarrassed around your family in a way. I mean, hey, you're chasing after sound or whatever. But
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, no, exactly.
Thanks so much for coming along, brother. And I don't just say this is one of the, you'll see if you looked at some of the interviews I've done, one of the more musical ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else is going to like it, but I enjoyed this one. The light not working usually is dull.
It is what it is.
Somehow you're glowing, dude.
I look great.
So keep it going.
I look great. Let's get it.
Thanks for coming along, brother.